very exciting episode of Simple Meals with Coach Wendi. Great to have you here. What are you going to make?
Thank you. I am going to make some nachos today.
Fantastic, guys. So who doesn't want some nachos? So in the chat box, I want you to let us know, number one, where are you coming from and what type of diabetes are you living with? Okay? So let us know that in the chat box. These shows that we're live, we're here with Coach Wendi, who has an incredible amount of experience and knowledge. We're both living with type 1 diabetes, and we are here to help you. Like, we want to interact. We want you to tell us what's going on, what questions can we answer. We are all about action here at Mastering Diabetes. That's what we do. We coach people to take action, reach their goals. We're not just like here having a party and no success. You know what I'm saying, Wendi?
So true. So true. We're all about having a great time at a party.
There you go. I like that. Yeah. So let's see what we got coming in the chat box. We have Michigan in the chat box. Columbus,
nice.
5. All right. We have Fran living with type 2. Denise, pre-diabetic. Anna, Missouri, type 2. Dubai, type 1.5. Okay. Type 2. Dream World Minerals. Dottie does not have diabetes, but she's watching. Leanna's coming from Texas, Northern California, pre-diabetic, Pennsylvania. Okay, Idaho Falls. This is great, guys. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, all right? So why don't we get started with the recipe, and then we'll continue to answer questions and engage as we go through the show. So what do we got?
Okay, perfect. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got a little skillet pan over here, and I'm going to just kind of boil the water. I've got about a little bit over a half a cup in here. The recipe will call for a half a cup of water, but I put a little bit more than that in there because what we're going to do is make our cheese sauce. So I've pre-cut a butternut squash, and I'll show you what size it was. It was fairly small, this is about 2 cups of butternut squash, but the size of butternut squash I had is only this guy, not very big, but it made this amount. So a little bit over 2 cups, which totally fine.
Totally fine.
So we're gonna put this in the skillet all together, and then I got 1 yellow onion that I chopped up, and you don't really have to do a big chop with it. It's okay to leave it in like some larger pieces like this. That's totally fine. I did do some finer chops for some of them a little bit. So we're going to pop
You're saving time, making it efficient. Now, do you have any tips? Did you cut that butternut squash when it was hard?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any tips for how you do that safely and effectively?
Yes. So you want to peel it. And so I just use a regular old potato peeler to peel the outside of it.
Okay.
And then you kind of, when you've got it, I'll use this as an example. So this is kind of like the larger, this is the bottom part. I cut it right here in half. And then I'm always about cutting things in half so that I have a stable surface to cut everything on. So I want a flat surface. So then I cut this in half. So now I've got 2 pieces, and then I can start to cut it. But first, you want to peel it first before you do anything. Yes. And then since the lower part is where the seeds are going to be, you can cut that in half. You can kind of spoon out the seeds. In fact, I've got a little plate with the seeds on it that we're going to put out for the squirrels later because they like to eat them. And then just chop this up. But yeah, you want a sharp knife. You want to make sure that you've sharpened your knife before you start dealing with one of these guys.
Okay, so this is amazing. So I'm seeing the ingredients on the screen. I'm really excited about what you're going to make here, Wendi. And I think people are going to love this recipe. But I want to do 2 things here. Number one, I would like everybody who's here, okay, write in the chat box, why are you here today? What is going on? Do you have high blood sugar? Is that a challenge? Are you living with high blood pressure right now? Are you living with high cholesterol? Do you have high triglycerides? Are you looking to lose weight? Are you looking to gain more energy? If one or any of these is true, you could just put T in the chat box, or you could tell us what's going on. I want to hear what's happening here. And then, Wendi, I'd love for you to explain a little bit of Why does this recipe help people, number one, lose weight and stabilize their blood glucose?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, Robbie, we love our fiber here. And so fiber is key. If you eat a whole foods, plant-based, low-fat diet, you're getting all sorts of fiber, which is also making your microbiome very happy as well. And it actually will slow down how quickly you absorb the food that you're eating, the carbohydrates that you're eating. So we typically eat high carbohydrate here. We're getting all sorts of fiber. We're getting all sorts of flavors in this recipe. And, think about nachos. When I think about it, it has so much oil on it. It has so much, dairy on there. And, we're trying to mimic this. And now it's not going to taste the same. Like if you had cheese yesterday and then you have this cheese sauce, you're going to be like, oh, that doesn't taste like cheese sauce. But I think it tastes really good, because I've been eating this way for a long time. As you become more consistent, your taste buds change and you actually start to really appreciate whole foods. You actually can taste the difference in where things are grown. Like a carrot, for example. If a carrot's in your backyard that you grew compared to one that you got at the store, you'll like the one that's grown in your backyard a whole lot more. And so these nuances start to happen as you start to eat this way. And yeah.
I love it. Okay, fantastic. So Terry Markey wrote a T, so that the things I listed were true for her. Rebecca, Jamie, Luis wants to lose weight. Yeah, some of these symptoms apply. Mel has high cholesterol, triglycerides, and blood pressure. Okay, Fran says all the above. Dottie is just here to get some recipes. That's fantastic. Pete is living with type 2 diabetes. Kathleen wants to lose weight. For Lynn Poole, things are true. We have type 1 with high blood pressure, New Jersey. Okay. Rebecca loves recipe demos. We have Paula. I am type 1 diabetes. I need to lose weight, take control of my sugar levels to get healthy. Okay. Candy says these things are true. Gail says I want to eat healthier to reduce my A1C. So you have a high A1C. Okay. So Priyana, high blood pressure following major surgery. Okay. High triglycerides. All right. Tammy, type 2 and high blood pressure, but controlled thanks to whole food plant-based diet. Okay, good. All right. I'm loving the interaction here. So it's going to be hard to read everyone here. Well, okay. Dab says, I had high cholesterol levels, gout, hypertension, but since I discovered the whole food plant-based diet, my blood work has drastically improved. Excellent. Very happy. Rosa wants to lose weight. Tammy, need to lose weight as well. Cassie, do you use nutritional yeast in the sauce?
Oh, that's a great question. In fact, the answer is no, because I have several clients who actually can't use nutritional yeast. And so I decided, all right, let's find another alternative. So once we get to that part, you'll see in this recipe, I had white miso paste in there. Today, my miso paste is dark because that's all I could find. But miso paste. Yeah. Miso is absolutely wonderful because remember, it's fermented soybeans. Soybeans are very good for your health. In fact, in the past, especially because I'm a dietitian, we were told, oh, soy is not good for you. But we found that actually it is healthy for you. And in miso, this is the one place where we can get some salt in our diet and not have to worry about the effects of it causing high blood pressure, or they've looked at the possibility that maybe a high salt diet could increase risk of stomach cancer. Now we know with miso that doesn't do that, so that makes it even better. So we're adding this lovely paste to our sauce, and we're going to get some salt from it. And I'm not going to use the 1/4 teaspoon of salt because of the miso today.
Fantastic. Okay, great. Okay, so we have a couple more questions about the recipe, which we're going to get to. Yeah. But I just want to say, so for everybody who's written here, okay, I want you to know, like Wendi, basically people have expressed they're living with type 2 diabetes. They've expressed they have high blood glucose, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. What results have you seen in your clients that you coach in the Mastering Diabetes Coaching Program?
Oh my goodness. So I've coached a little bit of everybody. So people with type 2, type 1, type 1.5, and pre-diabetes. In fact, recently I had somebody who's been diagnosed with type 2. And these are what her A1C results were. So in May of last year, it was 9.6. In August, 7.3. And this February, after going through all of those holidays, 6.5. So she's on her way. She's doing awesome. So that's somebody with type 2. And I've seen people's triglycerides come down. I have another person recently that I've been coaching with prediabetes, and everything came back down to normal. You know, cholesterol levels were super high and now totally in the normal range. A1C this time came as she reversed her prediabetes, 5.6.
Okay. So Wendi, like we've seen this over and over and over again. Like we pretty much, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you can tell me if I'm overstating something, all right? But Wendi, people come in our coaching program, right? They work with you, they work with amazing people on our team, registered nurses, other certified diabetes care and education specialists. We have health coaches. There's a range of amazing people, right? So they come in, right? We guarantee across the board, your cholesterol is going to come down. Your triglycerides are going to come down. Your blood goes going to come
yeah.
It's just all we need. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wendi, but all we need is somebody who's willing to say, "I'm ready and I'm coachable." True?
It's so true. It's so true. You know, it takes the willingness. And you know, I often think about, you know, insulin resistance. You also have to allow your mind to have less resistance as well as you make these changes.
Correct.
And that comes with time. It comes with time and being consistent with eating this way. I've really found profound changes, which is why I'm here at Mastering Diabetes, because I want to help people actually improve their lives. And that's definitely what we're doing every single day here. And
absolutely. And I love that you can say, you know, you're living with type 1 and you experience profound changes and you do this. And I think this is a great thing about our whole team, that everything that our coaches recommend, they're doing themselves. You're eating these diets, like you're eating these meals, these recipes, like you do it, you live it.
Absolutely. And, you know, I have to tell you, like, it was profound. Before I found Mastering Diabetes and started eating this way, I was somebody that had to push myself to get up out of bed every single day and just to do all the things I did. And I did a lot. I had big jobs. I was, you know, had a lot of meetings, a lot of things I had to do, but forcing myself the whole time, forcing myself to exercise, forcing myself to get things ready all the time, not feeling great and just feeling like, well, this is kind of what life is, I guess, you know? And once I started eating this way, I noticed, oh my gosh, I don't have any pain when I wake up anymore in my body. So obviously there was some inflammation, no more inflammation, tons of energy, able to exercise whenever I feel like it. You know, obviously I've got to watch my blood glucose like everybody with type 1, but I know how to do it. I know how to balance myself out. And it's not about 100%, right? It's not about like everything is 100% in time and range. You know, that's not what type 1 looks like. That's okay. But I know how to balance myself out and I know how to feel good and do all the things I need to do. And it's profound. In fact, my husband often would comment on like, oh my gosh, you have so much more energy.
I love it. Okay. So Wendi, I love this. And I think you're bringing up a very important topic here, which is important to what we teach at Mastering Diabetes and how we work with clients. We are not about perfection. Okay. Nobody can ever achieve that. If that's your goal, like don't come, right? Like we are about sustainable long-term success. We are about recipes that are absolutely delicious. It's not a sacrifice. Recipes that are absolutely affordable, accessible, pretty fast to make. Like this is doable. And so you've demonstrated that. We have great comments coming in. Nicole says, my husband type 2 went whole food plant-based on January 1st. He went from 9.2 to 6.5 in 6 weeks. That's fantastic. Terry says, hey guys, I'm willing, signed up and had my first group meeting last night. That's fantastic. Okay. So here's what I want you guys to do. Write the letter R in the chat box. If you're like, I'm ready, like I see the challenges I'm having right now. I don't want them anymore. I'm ready to lower my A1C. I'm ready to get more energy. I'm ready to lose weight. I'm ready to drop my blood pressure. I'm ready to drop my cluster. Like, ready, put R in the chat box, okay? And so, Wendy, you can tell us, what are you doing with this recipe now? I love how you're multitasking.
Thank you. So I also forgot to tell you, I put garlic in here too. So I probably put the recipe says about 2 cloves, but I always go a little over. So I put about 3 in there, and I chopped it up and minced it. And now to know if this is done, I just took a fork and put it in the butternut squash just to see if it would go through. And it has. So now I've got my handy Vitamix blender here. So I'm going to scoop all this up. I'm going to turn my heat down. And then we're going to make our cheese sauce here.
Beautiful. Exciting. I love it. Okay, so we have comments coming in. So Cassie is ready. Valencia is ready. Luis is expressing that she has some of the problems and hopefully is also ready. Gail is ready, right? We have our friend from New Jersey, ready. Triple ready. Priyana, ready. Okay? Candy, continuing to be ready. Luis is ready. Julie's ready. Okay. So everybody that said ready, I want you to book a discovery call so you can talk to an enrollment specialist to figure out how we can help you, how you can work with Wendy, how you can get in the right group. Maybe you need private coaching. Maybe you need group coaching. Maybe you need something else. But we have to take action, and that is the first step of taking action, is booking a discovery call so we can put together a plan, okay? So it's very easy to do that. You just literally go to masteringdiabetes.org/start, or you could just type in Mastering Diabetes Coaching into Google, take it there. But like, I want to see your discovery calls booked right now. Then once you've booked your discovery call, come back and write B, okay? You can open up a new tab and do this. It's very simple, but we got to take action, okay? Let's go. Wendy, what's next?
I love it. All right, so for our sauce, we need some, I love smoked paprika. So we're putting some smoked paprika in here. If you don't like smoked paprika, you could put regular in there if you want. Or you just kind of decide. But it's fun to kind of play around with this over time just to see like what flavors do you like? How do you like your sauce to be? And now I've got my miso. So I got my miso from Eden Organics. In the past, I've gotten it from Trader Joe's, but this week when I went to go get it, they didn't have any. So they said they wouldn't get it until June. So I was like, well, okay, it's Eden Organics for me. So here's some miso. This one's the Shiro, and I'm just putting that in there. That's that 2 tablespoons worth. And then a white bean. And what I've got available in my home right now are some garbanzo beans. So 1/8 of a cup, which is the same as 2 tablespoons. So I just got it right here. We're just gonna pop those guys in there. And then all I gotta do is mix this up. Oh, I forgot to half a cup of water. I better put that in there. It's not gonna mix so well.
Okay, you put that water in there. Somebody asked, is a discovery call free? Yes, the discovery call is free. You will book a time. It's a 30-minute call with an enrollment specialist so we can understand exactly what's going on. What are your goals? How can we help you, right? Carolyn says, I'm reading your book because I can't afford coaching. Now, I don't know when you last looked into coaching, but we have a partnership with a company called Affirm, which makes coaching incredibly affordable no matter which program you choose. We don't want to turn down anybody. If you are ready and willing, we're going to help you. We're going to find a way to get you in. So if cost is a concern for you, highly, highly recommend booking a call so you can figure out how you can use payment plans to get in the program that is right for you. All right, super important. So I have a lot of R's, but I don't see any B's yet. Okay, so Fran, I'm talking to you. Did you book your discovery call? Like yes or no? You can just now you don't even need to do a B anymore. Let's just do yes or no. Fran, did you book your discovery call? Carolyn Bridge, yes or no? Have you booked your discovery call yet? Marija, did you book your call? I'm ready for my family on board. Okay, Tammy. Julie, did you book your call? Luis, Priyani, another Tammy again. We have a friend in New Jersey. I can't pronounce your name. I don't know what language that is. Gail, Valencia, Cassie. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Pete's ready. Hasn't booked his call yet, but Pete, now's your time. masteringdiabetes.org/start. Just go there. Okay, Wendi, what's happening with the recipe?
All right, so I have mixed up our cheese sauce. So this is ready. I mean, this is a lot of cheese sauce. So you're not going to use all of this for your nachos, but this means that you could add it to your a salad if you wanted, or maybe you have some beans and maybe some brown rice later. You could add this to that as well. But you definitely will not use this whole thing if you're just making nachos for your own self.
Wendi, I just have to say, I couldn't agree more. Having sauce that's good just laying around is always a good thing. And how long will that stay good in the fridge?
Oh, I would say it would stay good probably about 5 days.
Beautiful. Love that.
Which is perfect. All right. So now, I'm not a fan of the mandolin. So I've got this lovely, food processor here, with a blade on it where I can adjust how thin of a slice I get. And that's how I'm going to slice this potato right here, because we got to have some sort of chip, right? In order to have it actually be nachos. So I'm going to just stick that in there.
I'm fascinated by this. Bess, you got to make this full screen. I'm on the edge of my seat how this is going to turn out.
Like, what I love about this food processor is that it only takes like half of a second, honestly, for this to work.
Okay.
So just going to stick that in there.
All right.
And
here we go. Let's see what we got. So
one
little push. Okay.
It was a kind of a big potato. A little push. But now, when I take this off, we can take a look at, now I've got all of these little thinly sliced potatoes.
I mean, that is incredible. How efficient is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. My favorite. So then what you want to do is you'll have your oven already preheated at 400 degrees. And you want to get a pan with parchment paper. Now, you could do silicone. I don't recommend silicone for this part, because when you put your potatoes on silicone, at first it's just not going to dry out as well. I find the parchment paper works much better. So basically all you do, and it's a little bit light in here, so I'll show you in it real quick. You want to just layer you're not layering. You're going to put your little slices out here on your parchment paper. Don't want to layer them because they're not going to cook as well. And once you've got these all on your sheet, it'll look lovely like that, and I'll keep putting more on here. And then pop them in your oven, and about 15 minutes is how long, So you have to, it depends on your oven. You do have to kind of watch them, if your oven runs a little bit hotter, and no oven is perfect with its temperature. So you'll want to double check. Once these start to get kind of brown on the outside or in the middle, that's when you want to check them to see, are they done or not.
Yes.
So then we'll pop those in, and I've already done it. So I'll bring out the done version.
I love it. I love
it. These over here. And
like on the Food Network, Wendi.
It is like that. So we'll get rid of this guy, and then I'll show you how to assemble them so you can make them look pretty.
All right, so our friend from New Jersey, Emet, hopefully I pronounced your name right, Hebrew. That's beautiful. I love it. Valencia, she said she forgot how to book the call. So what you do is you go to you just literally go to masteringdiabetes.org, and at the very top, there's a big button. It says start there. Now, does that take people to the quiz, or does that take people to, let's see, let me just double check what happened. When you just did that, start here. Yeah, so that's how simple it is. Beth is 100% right. So you literally go to the website, click start here, and boom. All right, so Amit is booked. Excellent. I love that. Fran has a coaching tomorrow. I love that, Fran. I'm glad to hear it. If anybody else here watching with us, either right now or when you watch the recording, I want you to tell me, are you in the coaching program? If you're with it, let us know which coach are you working with, what goals have you set, chat. Let's I'd love to hear from you guys. Okay. Louise says I'm old and have a hard time multitasking. That's okay. That's good. You're probably a focused person. You do one thing at a time, and that's fantastic. So that's fine. You can do it later. We'll make sure to follow up with you and make sure you get your call booked. And I want to see some more people saying that they booked their call. All right. So Norma, okay, Candy writes, I'm working with Paula. I mean, Wendi, can you just speak to us how amazing Paula is?
Oh my gosh, Paula is awesome. She's so vibrant, and she also is a dietitian, also a certified diabetes care and education specialist. She knows it frontwards and backwards, and oh my gosh, she's lovely. She's awesome to work with.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Terry's working with Coach Michelle. Coach Michelle is just a boatload of energy. She has a lot of exercise, background, but she's also really a master with helping people with weight loss. That's a fun thing she loves to work on.
Yeah, and Michelle and I do a coaching. We do a cooking show every week together on our private Facebook page.
That's right. So if you like these shows, you like recipes like this, when you're in the coaching program, you get a lot more of this, which is super fun.
Absolutely.
Look at this. Sherry says, I was in the coaching program last fall with Wendi, and it was fantastic time. My last A1C was 5.6, lowest ever as a type 1.5. Congratulations, Sherry. That's fantastic. Good for you. Wonderful.
And Sherry was awesome.
Okay, what's next with our recipe?
Okay, so we've got to make another, not a sauce, but kind of like a sauce. So I've got some cilantro here that I'm cooking up, or just chopping up, and I've got some chili powder. So it's a teaspoon of chili powder. So I'm going to put that right in our bowl right here. And then we're going to take some green onions, which I've got some right here. I'm just going to pop those right in this bowl. And I took about 3 Roma tomatoes and chopped them up in here. Pop them right in here. And then we're going to take I've got way more cilantro than I need, but I do like cilantro. So I'm not going to measure it, but it's around 2 tablespoons. And so all you do now is you mix this up. I'm going to grab a spoon out of here. And you just kind of mix this all together. So you're getting that lovely chili powder over your green onion. It's so pretty. Isn't that
beautiful?
Pretty? And you just mix this all together. And this is just going to give you even more flavor in your nachos. Mm-hmm. So, oh my gosh, I wish you could smell this, Robbie. This cilantro chili powder. It smells so good. Oh my gosh, if you look over my shoulder and you see, look, there's 2 chihuahuas hanging out in that big pillow.
That's so cute.
They're always hanging out with me all day long. Okay, so we've got this part done. And now we just got to make our nachos look pretty.
Okay.
So I've got a lovely serving bowl right here. And I've got some of my nacho chips. So we're going to start with putting some of these in the bowl. And you can see, I mean, they actually are crunchy. Like if I eat them.
Yes, look at that.
Isn't that awesome?
That's amazing.
We often think like, oh, I can't have chips anymore. But yes, you can. If you make these, you can have them again. Okay. So we want to put a little bit of corn with this. So let me move.
Okay, Wendi, while you're doing that, I want to bring up an important question here.
Yeah.
Wendi GL asks, does your coaching program help people to put on weight? I've been told by my doctors that I'm underweight, but all the diabetic programs talk about losing weight. I mean, the answer is yes, of course. And Wendi, why don't you speak to your experience helping people do that?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. A lot of times when people start eating plant-based, sometimes they eat too many non-starchy vegetables. And that's where the issue is because, again, it's high fiber, but when you eat high fiber, you get full really fast. So then it would be a matter of starting to decrease some of those non-starchy vegetables and start looking for the higher caloric foods, which we definitely coach people and help them figure out what works best for your body. What flavors do you like? What kinds of things do you want? And we have recipes that we give out to definitely help. And I've had several people who I've had to help with gaining weight, and they've been successful at doing that.
And it's a topic, I mean, I'm just so passionate about the nuanced details that you and our coaching team work through. So in this particular situation, somebody wants to gain weight, there's going to be nuances around, okay, how are we going to manage your blood glucose when you're increasing your food intake, right? Like these are details that have to be addressed on a day-by-day basis and a plan put together. And our team is a bunch of specialists and we've been there, done that. And we guarantee, again, it's in this case, it's basically just math, right? You're going to have to eat a certain number of more calories on a consistent basis. And Wendi, you were just speaking to like, okay, we got to make sure those are foods you like. Those are foods that go down well. Those are foods that have the right calorie density. You know, even sometimes people might come across Master Diabetes information, be like, oh, I'm just going to have a ton of fruit, right? Then they start having too much of the low calorie fruit, and even maybe not even enough of the high calorie fruit. So we have to know how do you focus more on the chickpeas, on the beans, on the quinoa, on potato? Like, it's nuanced, it's individualized, each person is unique, and that's our passion, and that's what we do at Mastering Diabetes. We provide accountability, coaching, support, guidance. So Wendi, I hope you book a discovery call, speak to our team so we can help you out.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm going to move my camera so you can see what I'm doing. I've put my chips in my bowl. I've got some corn here. I've got some romaine lettuce that I chopped up. I only took about 2 leaves. And then I've got some red bell pepper that's in here too. So I just try to make it look as pretty as possible. So I've got that. So gosh, I'm going to have an awesome lunch today, Robbie. Okay, then we also got some black beans. So this is about a half a cup of black beans. So I like to put those in. There's some corn right here.
You're going to have an amazing lunch today, Wendi.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now, oh my gosh, this part, so tasty. So I'm going to put this around as well. So this was my mixture of the chili powder and the green onion that I'm putting on top of my nachos here. All sorts of good tomatoes. And now I got the cheese sauce. So like I said, I'm not going to be able to use all that cheese sauce. I'll use it later for a couple other tasty meals. But let's see. Let me get a new spoon and we'll put some in here. So we'll just do this.
There's so much like vibrancy in this dish. There's also a lot of great variety, which is something that's important. We speak to a lot in our program, like you were saying earlier, for creating a healthy gut. This is amazing.
Yes. And remember, my cheese sauce has some garlic in it. It's got the miso, so I've got a little bit of salt in there, which will be nice. I think the only thing I forgot was just a tiny bit of black pepper when I mixed in my my tomatoes and my thing. So I can just put like a little bit of black pepper on the top. Just a little. And let's try it out. Let's see how it is.
The taste test. Here we go.
Test. Let's see. Whoop. I'm going to have to use a spoon to kind of get in there. Okay.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Oh, look at that crunch. Unbelievable.
Yum.
I love it.
It's so good.
Okay, Wendi, our friend Emet from New Jersey is asking, could you freeze the leftover cheese sauce?
Absolutely. I mean, you can freeze butternut squash by itself after you've chopped it up. So absolutely, you could freeze the cheese sauce as well. Usually things in the freezer are good for about 3 months. So you just want to make sure you date it and that you use it within that period of time.
Beautiful. I love this. Okay, Sherry says, for those still on the fence, on basically booking a call, it'll totally change your life and your relationship with your diabetes. Couldn't agree more, Sherry. Thank you for being an example and putting in the effort to make it work. That's fantastic. And look at that dish. Wendi, do me a favor. Take like a nice photo of that. I want to, and send it to me. I want to have the photo because that is.
I will.
This was super fun. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna definitely have you back soon. All your recipes are a huge hit. And again, I know you do this regularly in the members only Facebook group. Everybody listening, if you haven't booked your discovery call, now's the time. masteringdiabetes.org/start. Take action, right? You got to take action. The one thing we can't do, right, is keep doing the same thing that led you to where you are right now. So like insanity is like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We got to make changes. Julie wrote a B. Julie booked her call. I love it. Okay, fantastic. Elizabeth says she's dropped 7 pounds in less than 3 weeks. I love that. This is pure science. We only ask people to do evidence-based protocols. Period. End of story. And so this program works because it's backed by over 100 years of research. We want you guys to experience these results. Come in, get the accountability, get the support. Let's do this. I'll see you guys next week, same time. Thank you again, Wendi.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks, Robbie.
Bye.